What if you could build a perfect world? No problems, no danger, everything you could ever want. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, a scientist actually tried it, and what happened was a complete and total nightmare.
And this right here, this is the key. The guy who ran the whole thing, John Calhoun, he said this from the very beginning. This was never just about mice. This was about us. It was always meant as a mirror.
So, back in 1968, they kicked off this experiment. They called it Universe 25, and the whole idea was to build a literal paradise, a perfect world for a bunch of mice, and just see what happened.
And when I say paradise, I mean paradise. Think about it. Unlimited food and water on tap. Absolutely no predators to worry about. No diseases. And this massive, sprawling space. Way more room than they would ever need. On paper, it was perfect.
So you'd expect the population to just explode, right? It only makes sense. But that's not what happened. Not at all. After a pretty good start, something went horribly, horribly wrong. This perfect society of mice completely fell apart and spiraled down into total extinction.
Calhoun gave this whole thing a name, and it's pretty chilling. He called it the behavioral sink. See, the wild part is it wasn't a lack of food or space that destroyed them. It was a collapse from the inside, a total breakdown of social behavior once the need to struggle for anything was just gone. And the details of what happened are just deeply disturbing. Mothers completely lost their maternal instincts, abandoning or even attacking their own babies. Males would just erupt into this senseless violence. Others just checked out. They withdrew from society completely. And eventually, the most fundamental drive of all, reproduction, it just stopped, cold.
But then there was this one group, and this might be the weirdest part of the whole story. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones. These were mice that never fought, never mated. They just completely retreated from the social world. All they did all day was eat, sleep, and groom themselves. They were physically perfect, but socially, they were already dead. It's a fascinating, horrifying story about rodents, for sure. But remember what Calhoun said. His thoughts were on man. So that brings up the real question, doesn't it? Have we, in our modern world, accidentally built our own version of this paradise trap?
And the parallels are, well, they're kind of hard to ignore. Look at this. The mice had unlimited food. We have the promise of unlimited connection. They had no predators. Our online world has no physical risk. They had a perfect physical environment. We have a world of infinite validation available with just a click.
We turn to social media to escape, right? To get away from feeling lonely or bored or that fear of missing out. But the scientific data is starting to paint a picture that has a chilling echo of what happened in Universe 25. Our solution might actually be the trap. And this isn't just a theory. The numbers are coming in and they are shocking. A huge Danish study dropped this bombshell finding: people with social media addiction were 4.4 times more likely to become lonely. Not less lonely, 4 times more lonely. And here's how it happens. It's this vicious cycle. You start to feel lonely, so you turn to social media for a connection. But there, you're just bombarded with everyone else's highlight reels, which makes you feel worse about your own life. This increases your loneliness, which, you guessed it, drives you right back to social media to cope. And that spiral just gets tighter and tighter. The effect on our mental health is just as stark. That same study found that social media addiction was linked to a 2.71 times higher risk of developing depression. The very thing we use to connect and feel better is statistically linked to making us feel so much worse. And this isn't just a feeling inside our heads, it's having a real-world effect. The data shows this is linked to an actual measurable decrease in the size of our real-life social networks. Just like the mice who retreated into isolation, we are becoming objectively, verifiably more alone. So maybe the problem isn't the technology itself. Maybe the problem is the utopia it promises, a world without friction. This quote from an analysis of Calhoun's work really gets to the heart of it. Maybe we need a little bit of struggle to give our lives meaning and purpose. Our digital world offers a perfect paradise: connection without the real effort of showing up, validation without the genuine struggle of achievement. It is Universe 25 in our pocket. The mice, they didn't get to choose their fate, but we do. So the question is, what are we choosing?